Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the last video, I have explained you what is container. Now, in this video, I am going to show you some container commands, how we can manage our container inside the Docker engine. Okay, so already I have explained you how to install it. I am going to use the same machine. So let me connect to the machine first. I'm going to use basically a putty to run my Docker image. Sorry, not Docker image. Our Docker is running on this here. So let me quickly connect with that. Oh, Ubuntu. Okay, it is connected. Clear. So let me show you first here. There are few basically commands. I'll also explain you in that way. First, let us go with the hyphen help. So here there are a lot of commands came. So common commands basically used here. It is the explanation itself. It is given that what are these command means. Okay. So if you want to run a container, we can use docker run. If you go inside the container image, you need to use exec command. PS is basically list the container, what are the container present over here. Build is basically docker image build. Pull is docker image pull. So all these commands I am going to explain each and every one by one. Let's start with basically simple one. Before that, let us see that images view inbuilt images. So for that we need to go Docker Hub. So Docker Hub is a public repository which is store all the images which is publicly available, and here you can create a license as well to store a private images, but some it gives you some free version as well, means some limitation are there. You can sign up here and create your own private repository. At some extent it will be private, but if you reach cross the limit, then it asks you to get a license, but we are not interested on that right now. Right now we are going to use any of one publicly available images. See, there are a lot of images already present. So in here, docker official image, if we click that, these are the images created by official source of applications, like Apache is maintaining this httpd. So Apache is responsible to upload any new version of they have, whatever they have changing, they are responsible to upload their images over in the Docker Hub. So they are officially these are the officially RabbitMQ, these registry as well. Registry is maintained by, I believe, Docker only. Let us see. When we open it, we can see that here. Get the source code of that and distribution. So all the explanation is also given, that how to run it and all. It is already present over here. So right now we are not going to each and every images. We are going to take one images, and we are going to be practice a docker commands, basically docker container commands, which is going to be basically work for each and every images. So it's just a image name is going to be changed, but other than that everything is going to be the same. So let us pick this nginx image, which is basically easy to use. So here, if we follow this documentation, here it is saying that these are the tags available of Nginx. Okay, I'll tell you what is tag and all, but right now leave it for now. So here are the some commands to run already given here. I'm not going to follow those commands for now, but I'm showing you because you can if you open any another image apart from Nginx, you can follow this documentation and read it. Once you read it, you will understand that what is the thing need to be changed for running your application. Only things are there. You need to understand what does docker run do, what this file means, that so each and everything you can change by your own. So let's start with simplest one. Here when you open it, it says the docker pull nginx. So what it will do, that when we execute docker pull nginx, it will download the images into our machine, means our host, our VM. Right now if I show you clear docker images here, sorry, docker ps, what happened, docker ps, oh, it is docker command is not working right now. So for that I need to go sudo su, I believe it should work now, docker ps, yeah, it is working now. Now docker images, so see, there is no image in my machine. Okay, now when we execute docker pull nginx, what it will do, it will download the images in my machine from repository docker hub, from docker hub to my VM, AWS VM. So let me click it. So now it is picking the latest tag. When you don't put any tag, it will download always with the latest tag by default. And see the image. Let me again docker images execute that. It is showing that nginx tag. Tag is a just a version number which identify that basically this nginx image is created on this tag on dated of this. So if we go follow the documentation here, see latest tag, when it is one dot, it is showing these tags. Whatever the tag we are going to put, it is always be the latest because it is added a latest. So any of these number, if I put it, it will download the same image. So they have created a one image, but it provided a different tag to identify different suppose any different operating system they are going to use call as this 1.27 they are calling. So it will download the same image whatever I am downloading. But if you want to download, suppose I want to download this image, I don't want to latest image in my machine. So how I can do that? Any of these tag I can pass in my docker pull command. So let me execute it. Clear docker pull nginx, then colon. For passing a tag we need to pass colon and then tag number. So 1.26.1 1.26.1. Let me press enter. It is not finding on local, so it is going to be download from docker hub. Docker images, so here there are two images with the different latest with the different tags. Okay, whatever inside the images, it right now we are not worry about that, but how docker container is working, I am trying to explain that thing. Okay, now we need to run the image. Okay, basically right now we didn't created any container. To list the container, we need to use docker ps. This command is going to show you all the running containers only, but when you execute docker ps hyphen a, it will going to show you all the running and stop both all the container, even whatever the state is there, it doesn't matter, it will going to show over there if container is exist. Okay, so let me start one container. Clear the screen. Let me run docker engine. Let me run nginx. So I am not going to use anything, just docker run nginx, nginx, nothing else. So what it will do, it is started my container and showing the log over in the console itself. Now I am not going to do anything unless and until I am not going to stop. So my nginx system, if you read the log, you can understand here, and configuration completed, ready to start up, start work progress 28. So it means that my container is running, but I can't do anything because my terminal is occupied by the container. If I come out from this terminal, or if I duplicate this, let me duplicate it and show you my container is running or not. Let me duplicate this session. Ubuntu. So here sudo su. Okay, clear. Here docker ps. So see, my docker container is running. Okay, whatever the name, whatever things, please ignore for now. Just see that docker run is the responsible that to run a container image. Okay, let me come out from this machine. I have pressed Control C. It is coming out from the container. Okay. Now again we can execute docker ps. Oh, where my container is gone. So my container is basically stopped for now. How I can verify that? Docker ps hyphen a. So this container ID, basically this container ID, and the one which I have shown over here, it is the same, A94B7, A94B7. So this value will be the same. So it means that my container is created a 2 minute before and exited 25 second. Okay, so docker ps minus a. Now if I want to run my docker engine not in a terminal, means my terminal should be used for another purpose as well, and whatever I want to execute next command I can execute it. It should not be hang. So what is the way to do that? There is called detach mode. So how to use the detach mode? Basically docker run hyphen d, just it, hyphen d, nothing else, nginx. So what it will do, my container image running on background and my terminal is free to use other purpose if I want to. So let me execute it. It will give you the alpha numeric code, which is basically a container ID. If you see docker ps, so starting of 12 digit of this id is your container id over showing over here, but you can pass it whole value, then it's also work, but you can and you can use this value as well as a container ID. Okay, so my container is started 13 seconds ago, so it is running on background. It is not like that, it is running on the terminal. Okay, but here is the problem. My Nginx server is running, but I cannot access this Nginx server. If I try to hit localhost 80 http colon double slash and here curl, it is saying that uh, sorry http failed to connect localhost port 80, because here if you see the port is showing 80, my container is running and which is having a port of a 80, but here I am not able to connect with the container server. So for connecting a server, we need to expose our container port to the host port so that communication can be established, means connectivity from host to container can be established. How to do that? So for doing that, let me again execute the same command, docker run -d. Till here we are good. Now -p. So -p is basically for port. Here I'm going to change it, but for explaining purpose I'm here using host port colon container port. What does it mean? That in the left side, in the colon left side, we need to pass the our VM port. Any port we can pass it. It no no boundary for that. We can pass those number of whatever the container port is the same. We can pass anything. Only thing is we need to remember that that port should not be used by any other application or service. If it is already is bind, we cannot consume the port twice. So port should be free for using host port, and container post is the port which is basically running my application, means inside the container running the application. So let me update this with the proper value. I am here passing is a triple one, 4 times once, then colon 80. Okay, 4 times 1 colon 80 and then simply nginx. So again docker piece. Here there are pod two container are running. The last one is still we have running on detached mode, so it was running on -d. So it was not stop automatically. We need to stop. For making a stop of this one, last time one, we need to stop it manually. So I'll tell you the command later, but now again running. So here we have changed only port thing. So what is the difference is that it is saying that for connecting to the container, we can now execute this thing. So basically the same command which I have execute curl command, let me use again, but here the port is not going to mention the container port. We need to mention the host port. So the left side one, the port is need to be present over here 4 times 1. So this is the value. Now the same value we can access from the browser as well, because we are in AWS. So AWS provides that port is I already accessible all the ports. So we can use the same thing using the public IP. I need to just use the public IP of the machine and 4 times 1. See the value of coming. How to stop the container? It's just a simply docker stop, then container id. Docker stop container id. Container id is that these value container id and container name, anything you can pass it, but container name we are not yet set, so I'm using the container id. Okay, it's stop docker ps. So there is a one container running, but here I didn't have a port, so now my connectivity should, this one connectivity should disable, and it is showing should not be able to connect that. This site cannot be reached because it is down. Okay, docker stop, let me stop this one as well. Okay, now again let me use again the same command here. If you see in here docker ps hyphen a, the name are coming, but it is very much not user friendly, or you can say it is randomly coming, and it's provided by the docker engine itself. So if we want to override it and we want to pass the name whatever we want, how we can pass it? Let me again use the same. Till here everything is fine. Then for name, let me use docker run. Anywhere you can pass, actually anywhere. It is not it's not like that you need to maintain the order. Okay, only thing is that you need to hyphen d is just before the nginx. Basically image name, before the image name you need to, every argument you need to pass it. After docker run and putting a image name between that, anywhere anything argument you can pass it, it doesn't matter. So I am going to pass the name here, hyphen hyphen name, and then what container image name. So I want to put nginx underscore 1. Okay, so let me run it. Docker ps. So this time image name is nginx1. If I want to run another one, here just need to change to, and here need to change port as well. If I don't, let me run it without changing the port first, what it will come. So what is the saying? That error response from daemon, drive failed programming, external connectivity at endpoint of this nginx binding, this failed because port is already allocated. So what I said earlier, port should be free if you are using host port. Only condition is that if port is allocated somewhere other application, it will fail. So we need to change the port here. Let me change the port 222. Okay, so another problem now, nginx 2, if I show you docker ps hyphen a, so container image is already created the name of nginx 2. So it is not going to create the same name twice because it is a uniquely defined in the container engine, docker engine. So either I can change the engine name here in the my command, either I can change name to 2 to 3, it will work. But other thing is that I can delete because it is not executed first time, it is just created and never be executed. So I can delete this container image and create it again, the run the same command. So deleting, how to delete the container? Docker rm. Okay, what is the command? Docker rm, and then either container name or container id. Till now I am using container id. Now this time I am going to use the name, so it is going to be used. Now if I use again docker ps -a, here see, it is not there. So now I can use my command to run another docker run engine with the name of nginx2 hyphen port is 2222 colon 80. Why I didn't change the 80? Because it is a container, because it is a container port. Okay, so docker ps. Okay, now last bit, how to let me stop these two. Docker stop nginx underscore 1, and I can pass both if I want to run nginx underscore 2. If I pass both, then it will stop both. So I pass the both name after docker run. Okay, it is stopped everything. If I want to start both again, so just instead of stop, I can just put start, it will start again. Okay, but in the interview question, if you think about the interview, there is a question always interviewer asks. I have running several numbers of docker images, docker containers, and I want to stop all of them at once. What is the best way to stop at once? So you cannot say that I can pass docker stop and then passing the name of each of the container, because right now here is a two, so it's simply you can copy and paste it. But if we have suppose 150, so how much time it will take to fetch the id and name of that each and everyone, and going to delete it. So there is a shortcut which can be used here. So what is the shortcut? Docker stop. Okay, here our command is work as a docker stop is going to be used because we need to stop the container. So what else? Now here dollar comes in the picture, and here we need to pass docker ps. Docker ps is used for list the container. Okay, docker ps hyphen q, that's it. So it will stop. See, there are two containers are running, it is stopped. So hyphen q is a quiet mode, but it is pick the container id automatically which is running docker ps. If now docker ps hyphen a, it is going to show you all the containers are stopped and existent. If I want to delete all the container at once, stopped or non-stop, let me start one as well, and then we can start. Let me start the both. So the requirement next question they ask is that how to delete the all the stop container at once. I want to just delete only stop container, not the running container. So what is the command? docker rm is going to be used, deleting it. Okay, then again dollar docker ps hyphen a. Stop means docker ps hyphen a aq. So it will going to delete only stopped one. It is not going to delete the, even though it is showing the all the container, but it is not going to delete which is running. Okay, so I have just started the here. So let me show you in the next terminal. My two container are running before executing the command docker ps. So here two containers are running, so it is not going to delete those two, docker ps hyphen aq. So see, three containers are deleted, but two cannot be removed. Nginx one container is running. So whatever container is running, it is not going to be deleted because it is running. If you want to, if the requirement is that I want to, no matter what container is that, I want to delete all the container, whether it is running or not running, it doesn't matter. I want to delete everything. So for that, there is a command. Let me first again docker ps. It is running two. Let me stop one only, and one is running. Docker ps. Sorry, docker stop and nginx underscore one. Clear. So docker ps hyphen a. Here, this one is stopped. This one is still running. So let us how to delete both running and stopping container at once. So the command is that, again the same thing is that docker rm dollar docker ps hyphen aq. Only the difference is that before the dollar, just we need to pass hyphen f, which is saying that it is a forcefully delete running container as well as non-running container, stop container. So right now if I pass docker ps hyphen a, it should be nothing showing. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this video. For more such videos, please hit the like button and subscribe the button. I'll come to the next topic soon. Thank you.